Hi there, Kath Gammack, rig market analyst with Westwood Global Energy, here with a quick recap on some of the offshore rig market highlights during the period 3rd up and until the 9th of May. The past week saw Valaris scoop a new contract off West Africa and ONGC issue a letter of award to Jindal Drilling and Aban Offshore. Ultra-deepwater drillship Valaris DS-15 has been awarded a 5-well charter for work off West Africa for an undisclosed operator starting in the 3rd quarter of 2026. The total contract value, which is based on an estimated duration of 250 days, is approximately $135 million, including upfront payments for rig upgrades and mobilization. However, excludes the provision of additional services. The contract includes priced options for up to 5 wells, with an estimated total duration of between 80 and 100 days. Rig upgrades include an enhanced MPD system. The drillship is currently working off Brazil for Shell under a sublet from Total Energies. The rig is due to be released in August this year. Further to previous RigLogix reports, ONGC has now issued letter of awards to Jindal Drilling and Aban Offshore as part of Category 1 in its recent multi-rig tender. The 2 jackups to be deployed on 3-year deals each with the Indian National Oil Company are Jindal Explorer and Aban 8, with the new deals to begin in the 3rd quarter of financial year 2026. Negotiations are ongoing for the 2 jackups as part of Category 2, but just 2 bidders offered rigs. ADES offered Admarine 8 and Shelf Drilling the JT Angel. Other activities this past week saw BW Energy sanction the Maromba project off Brazil. The development will be based on a capex-efficient, phased project with a wellhead platform and FPSO. The development targets 500 million barrels of oil in place. First oil is planned for the 2nd half of 2027, with expected plateau production of 60,000 barrels of oil per day, which BW says will enable a short payback time and will more than double the company's total net production by 2028. BW is understood to be planning an initial 6-well jackup program starting in early 2027. Further to our report of the 11th of April, RigLogix has been advised that Valesto Energy jackup Naga 6 has mobilised to the Bertam field for IPC, which is approximately 170 kilometres offshore to the east of Peninsula Malaysia in Block PM 307. Water depth is around 243 feet. The rig will be drilling a development well and 1 workover. The duration, excluding mob and demob, is around 70 days. It is understood that the unit arrived at the first location on the 30th of April. Upon completion of this project, the rig will revert to Petronas Caragali to complete the rest of its 2-year commitment that ends in February next year. Further to a RigLogix report from the 24th of April, ultra-deepwater drillship Noble Venturer is now in Walvis Bay, Namibia, after completing its last job with Rhino Resources. Tullow Oil is next scheduled to use the rig for a drilling campaign off the coast of Ghana, which it says is on track to begin later this month. The rig will initially be used to drill 2 wells at the Jubilee field, 1 producer and 1 injector, which are expected to come on stream in the 3rd quarter of this year. The rig will then undergo planned maintenance and restart drilling with the same operator at the beginning of 2026, which will help drive an increase in production. Further to our report of the 7th of January, Murphy's subsidiary has announced a shallow water oil discovery at the Lac Da Hong 1X exploration well in Block 15-1, oblique 05, located in the Q Long Basin, offshore Vietnam. The well was drilled by INEOS jackup Hakaru 11 to a total depth of 13,616 feet in 151 feet of water. Lac Da Hong 1X encountered approximately 106 feet of net oil pay from a single reservoir and tested at a maximum rate of 2,500 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Murphy holds a 40% operating interest in the block, alongside Petro Vietnam with 35% and SK Earthon holding the remaining 25%. Petrobras has identified the presence of high-quality oil with no contaminants in the pre-salt of the Santos Basin. The 3-BRSA-1396D-SPS exploratory well is located in 6,404 feet of water in the Aram block and was drilled by Seadrill ultra-deepwater drillship West Aruga. Drilling has ended with an oil-bearing interval confirmed through electrical logs, gas shows and fluid sampling. The consortium will begin laboratory analysis to characterise the conditions of the reservoirs and fluids found, which will allow the evaluation of the area's potential. 2 more wells are scheduled to be drilled, and a drill stem test will be conducted as part of the appraisal plan, which has a deadline in 2027. Additional data acquisition activities may be carried out, according to planning and contractual obligations established with the National Agency of Petroleum, Natural Gas Biofuels. The Norwegian Offshore Directorate has launched its latest awards in predefined areas licensing round, covering acreage in the Barents, Norwegian and North Sea. The biggest change versus the 2024 round is that it has been expanded by 68 blocks in the Barents Sea and 8 blocks in the Norwegian Sea. The deadline for oil and gas exploration companies to apply for acreage is the 2nd of September, with awards expected in January next year. The ministry said that after more than 50 years of exploration activity, this year's APA round covers the majority of the area that is open and available on the Norwegian continental shelf. Kosmos advised that it continues to progress the development of the Tiberius project in Keithley Canyon Block 964 in the US Gulf with its partner Occidental. The companies are evaluating opportunities to further enhance the project. Kosmos says that this has resulted in a lower cost development, which will be supported by new ocean bottom node seismic data being acquired this year. Each company holds 50% interest, with Kosmos holding operatorship. And finally, Valco says it will make a final investment decision on its Venus floating project off Equatorial Guinea next year. The company had expected to complete the FEED in the first quarter of this year, but now expects to receive it by the end of this quarter, with a final investment decision by the end of September. The project scenario will follow its ETAM project off Gabon, with a mobile offshore production unit and a floating storage and offloading unit. There are theoretically to be 2 production wells and 1 water injection well, with first production in 2027. Venus is in 800 feet of water, but has remained undeveloped since it was first discovered by Devon Energy in 2005, despite numerous attempts to commercialise it. That's it for this week. Many thanks for listening. Hope you found this of interest. If you'd like more information on RigLogix, please visit our website www.westwoodenergy.com.